Hey guys, and welcome to game number 32 out of 100 of the Mack vs. Machine series, where I'll be playing 100 games of Scrabble against the top Scrabble bot, HastyBot. We've now played 31 games, which is the equivalent of a North American Scrabble championship, so lots of Scrabble has been played, but lots of Scrabble still to be played, so hopefully we can keep going strong here in game number 32. Okay, we are first, and nice opening rack, X and a blank. We're close to bingos here, like Xylodyne or Indoxil. Do we have any sevens? I don't think so, right? It's worth just taking a second here and going through the alphabet, because we are close, like Fixedly almost with an F. Indexly, no. Probably not quite gonna happen. Yeah, I don't think so. So I guess Index or Nixie. Nixie is 12 less, or 14 less? Yeah, it's 14 less than Index. But ED blank is so much more likely to bingo next turn than Y blank. And Nixie gives back a lot less. So I think it's actually pretty close. Probably Nix, or Dexy too is there actually. Yeah, Dexy or Nixie if I go that route, actually. It's kind of close. Probably Nixie. ED blank seems even more likely to bingo than IN blank, and just score more when I do. Doesn't give back a floating E as well. Probably Nixie over Dexy. Yeah, Nixie or Index, though. Because I hate the Y, because I really, when I have the blank like this, I want a bingo. And Index is going to give back a bit more to him. Probably gives back some... I'm sacrificing 14 points immediately, but like, my bingo percentage is probably a lot higher, and I'm giving back a lot less. I think this is worth it. I'm sure the static is going to say otherwise, but I think this is actually worth the point sacrifice here. I mean, the one thing to consider is, yeah, I guess he might overlap, and it might be tough for me to bingo, but I don't really mind that, like getting into a closed board with the blank. Yeah, I think this is actually a better play. It's a little bit weird to give up that many points, but I think it's, I think just given this position, it's worth it. Okay, so yeah, he plays fine. I will be bingoing here, but if I just kept a Y, then, I mean, I may or may not have been, so I think... Oh wow, I have tetroxide through the XI. That's cool. Huh, I might actually be correct. Probably not, but it's cool. Let's see. Treated. 69. Tetroxide was 67. Do I have anything to this IF that gets to the triple? Different. Almost. No, that wouldn't even get to the triple. Okay, I don't think so. There's also Thief and Threaded. That's 70, but that's pretty dicey in terms of what it opens. Not going to play that. It's probably between Tetroxide and Treated. Treated is probably better. Scores 2 more. The nice thing about Tetroxide is it gives back 2 openings. Right, because there's one here and one here. So there's something to be said for that. But it gives back even more floaters, too. He probably just averages so much more after Tetroxide. I think I gotta go with Treated. It just seems a lot more sound. Or maybe, actually I can play Threaded in that spot, too. Yeah, that's better, because now I don't get back the A as a floater. And this is not easy to hit with the R there, because this has to be an E. Yeah, Threaded's the play. Let's go with that. Okay, so he plays Humic. That looks like a good play. 43 points. Not a bad rack for us. We almost have stuff like Renminbi, but not quite. Do we have anything through this T on a double-double? I don't think so. No, not singing it off the top of my head. So HM is actually not a bad option. Scores 30. It doesn't give anything back. It actually really makes the right side of the board tough for him to work with. So that's kind of cool. Brian is not a bad leave. It goes well with this T. Don't love the B. I wouldn't mind getting rid of it. I just don't see a great way to do that. I'm not going to play Birth. That's too big a point sacrifice for 10 less. Menhir, does that go anywhere? Yeah, I actually kind of think HM. It's sort of a boring play, but I think it's probably best. I just don't see anything that gets rid of the B that's worth playing. So let's just play HM. Alright, he plays Re-Seized for a lot. We have Burline, which doesn't play. So we have Burnicle through the C, so we will be bingoing. Nothing through the R, the E, S is only Burlines, I think. E, I think Burnicle's the only one, because Burline doesn't play. Yeah, okay. Not thrilled about how open and crazy this position is getting, but gotta play this. Okay, so luckily for us, he has a huge vowel overload, and he has to play Ooze. So now the question is, I don't have a great rec either, so I could play something like Ding. Keeps V and R, which isn't great, but it addresses that spot. I probably should just play Diving. Yeah, I think I gotta play this. I mean, the leave is so much better. It scores 9 more. And if he uses this spot, I mean, there's plenty of other places for me to go. It's just too big a point sacrifice not to play. This, yeah, I have to play Diving. Okay, he plays Attain. Again, I'm happy to see that. That was not a lot of points. And am I bingoing here? I don't think so. Scorning? No G. Is there anything through this E? Einkorn with a K. I don't think there's anything through an E in this rack, if I'm not mistaken. So if we don't bingo, probably Orson to take out that spot. NS is a solid leave. Yeah, I think Orson is fine, assuming I'm not missing a bingo. It's going to score the best we can. Can't have that much of a better leave than NS with that rack, I don't think. It's not worth, like, fishing an N. That's not nearly strong enough. It's too big a point sacrifice. I guess Con is also here, right? C-O-N-N. But this spot is, I think, considerably more dangerous with an F and 2 W's out. Although he could, I guess, hit a J play here. So Con is worth looking at the minimum. INRS versus NS, though. INRS probably has a slightly better bingo percentage. The problem is it does not go well with this R. And it's just, if I don't get a bingo, then I don't give myself a chance to get scoring tiles, which I don't particularly love. Like, normally I definitely prefer IRNS to, or I'm sorry, I definitely prefer NS to IRNS. So I kind of want to play Orson, but I'm also going to be ruining that a lot if he just plays Jane for 57. Yeah, Orson is just much more my style, though. NS, especially with a blank unseen, I think it's a better leaf. Let's go with it. Okay, so he doesn't play Jane, but he does get the Q drop for 42. And this is not what I wanted now. We have too many consonants. Can I do something with... Oh, I have booze, too. Do I have anything here? Do I just have gist? Yeah, I probably just have gist. I don't love keeping the J, especially now that this spot isn't open. But I guess I'll get bailed out with stuff like Basenji. As long as I can draw a vowel. I mean, I don't want to play jest, I don't think, and keep 4 consonants. I don't have anywhere for Jess with 2 S's that's worth spending both of them. Yeah, maybe just gist. I mean, it's not a play I'm thrilled to make by any means. If I can draw an A or an O, I'll have jab and boozes next turn, though, to get rid of the J. So as long as I can pick up a vowel, I'm putting myself in good position next turn. And 19 and 19, so I've got almost exactly a 75% chance of drawing a vowel since I'll have 2 shots. That's pretty reasonable. Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, I'd rather do that, I think, than keep 4 consonants without the J. So why don't we play that? Hopefully it'll work out the way I'm claiming it will. Alright, so he gets 12. That's a lot of points. I did get a vowel, so I can certainly just play job and boozes like I was suggesting before. Do I have anything to this T object? That's not particularly good. I hate leaving this spot. Now I'm closer to bingoing though. I don't want to keep my J anymore. Like, I wasn't gonna be able to keep a good bingo leaf on the last turn anyway, so I was like, alright, I'll just keep the J, but now I do want to get rid of this J and try to bingo. Because he's probably gonna bingo again at some point with that pool in all these lanes. So probably just job and boozes. Yeah, I mean, it's 37 points. ERNS is very, very good bingo lead, especially with all those A's unseen. I mean, I just feel like that's too strong a leave to not take here for that many points. So let's do it and hope he just can't kill us on the left side. Okay, so he does bingo with arugula. Far from over, though, this game. Far from over, because we're only down 50 and we have an S to bingo with diffs. And if he doesn't have the other S, it's actually very hard, if not impossible, for him to block that. I guess if he has the F, he could also get with diff. But it's actually really hard to block that, so I'm not even thinking I need to make another opening. Necessarily, I wouldn't mind making another opening, but it's not that easy to do. Or maybe Pep. Maybe Pep, because now I have an even bigger S lane. I'm definitely going to need to bingo to win this game. I mean, I guess he could have drawn like 7 vowels. That's possible. Yeah, I mean, even if he has the S, I'm in much better position to hit this with my super strong leave and that vowel-heavy pull. I think Pep has got to be good. Maybe Pen? No, because that takes a D and a T, too. Just because PERS, if I bingo, it'll score more. ENRS probably just bingos more often, too, anyway. And at the end of the day, I think I care most about bingo percentage, since I'm playing as if I need to bingo, given I'm down 50. Yeah, Pep takes an O. But, I mean, if he blocks there with an O, at least they'll have diffs. Yeah, Pen is kind of interesting, too. But Pen, he can also overlap more easily. I think I'm still leaning towards Pep. It's the last end. This is so likely to bingo. Let's play Pep. Ugh. Okay, so he gets down wood, and we drew 3 A's. Crud. Okay, so now I think I've got to play Awa. This is very much a game, though, again, because I still have diffs, and now I have this D with my E. I need to keep that E at all costs. I have this L, too. And Awa scores 18. I'm still just down 50. Far from out of this. Very far from out of this. So, not the draw we needed, but, yeah, Awa's got to be right here. Let's go ahead and do that. Allowed, and... that Y. That stinking Y. We can't bingo here, but there's still 2 in the bag, so I imagine we're going to fish off this Y. And if we can fish off the Y, we'll actually be in decent position. We're getting low on time, so do we want to play just Yo? That's going to be our best spot to fish it off. We don't actually have a lot of other places to play it. See, I mean, if I can draw the A, I'll have Santara, which doesn't go here, unfortunately. Does playing Yen help? No, it doesn't, because I don't have enough room. Yeah, I have to play off the Y. I absolutely have to play off the Y. And there's not a lot of spots to do it, and Yo scores the most. So, like, probably just Yo, unless, am I blocking any bingos? So Santara, E? Problem is, a lot of my bingos don't go here. Wait, E is nearest, earnest, eastern, staring. Yeah, neither of them go here either, and it's just Eternals and Tellerings. That's annoying. But I'm just not going to bingo nearly enough with any other fish. I absolutely have to play off this. I guess I could play off 2 tiles, but then I don't want to empty the bag. So I don't know exactly what I have. I think I just got to play Yo. So if I draw an I, I'm good. K, I'm good because of Rankers and Tankers and Rankist. O, I'm good because of Atoners. Yeah, this is going to win enough. I think I got to just play Yo. I'm down to 30 seconds. We got the O, and we're gonna. Ooh, is a toner's enough? Yeah, it will be. I think. But a toner, Senator, Santoro, treason. Nothing else fits here. Nothing. Lone Star, that makes nothing. Yeah, toner or treason is the only thing that fits, and I've got to do it. And I think I'm gonna win by like 10. 448 to 436. Wait, I think that was the exact score as the last game. That's pretty funny. Wow. Very interesting game. We stole it at the very end there with an out bingo. Lucky to do so, given he had a good block of this spot. Yeah, that was a tense one at the end. Let's take a look for sure. So going back to the beginning, okay, yeah, not surprised at all to see index come up above, and it's definitely the more standard play. Maybe I should have just done it. I don't know. I really hate wise when I'm trying to bingo, and given I have a blank early on, I feel like my game plan should be bingo ASAP, take a lead, and then kind of try to shape the board in my favor from there. And I feel like Nixie, I give up 14 points immediately, but my bingo percentage skyrockets with DE blank versus Y blank. I'm probably well under 50% to bingo with Y blank, and DE blank I've got to be over 50%. And index, I mean, it gives back a bit more to him between like indexing and indexers and plays through the E, just more better floaters. So I can believe Nixie is slightly too much of a point sacrifice. If this is a mistake, I certainly don't believe it's a big one, and I kind of feel like I would do this again. So yeah, he plays 5. That looks good just to keep things tight. Sets up his H nicely. Yeah, I don't like feature here. I think 5 looks solid. Fretted, yeah, Tetroxide is cool. I didn't see uttered, but this, of course, is not very smart, given it takes like an M and a B and a G. It takes a lot of things in the front. So yeah, Fretted looks better here. Humic, very solid play for him. And, oh, I missed Chimb. That's a play. Not sure I want to do that with 4 S's unseen, though. HM, there's nothing wrong with HM, right? I mean, it scores 2 more. ENR, probably a little better than BEINR, but BEINR, especially with a floating T, is not a bad leave by any means. And I have a lead here, so I'm fine just sort of keeping things a little tighter and not introducing this huge amount of volatility, because without an S, this is either hard to block or just very annoying to block, and you're going to have to sacrifice a lot. So if I were down, I would certainly do that, or if I were down a lot at least, but at this point, I think HM is a lot more sound. He bingos with 3 C's, Bernicle only bingo for us. Ooze, yeah, that looks very solid, and then how about here? Yeah, diving, it's just too big, again, too big a point sacrifice. I mean, 9 points, and gets rid of the V. This spot isn't that bad, especially with the Hexagon, so better to do that. He has a taint, which doesn't fit, no E for Titanate, so tough luck for him here that he's not able to bingo. This is normally a pretty good rack in terms of bingoing, but not here. And yeah, Con, I was waffling here a bit. Not shocked to see Con rank higher on Saturday. I'm a little surprised that INRS is 6 points or so better than NS, but I guess, I don't know, I guess with all those A's on scene, it is just a bit more likely to bingo, and there's still the diffs line and Bernicles as well. So maybe I should be doing this just for the extra bingo percentage. And yeah, this spot with under Bernicle, I mean, there's F, 2 W's. It's not a great spot to leave open, but it's not like a disaster scenario. The worst thing is probably like a 40 or 50 point play. He's not going to score 80 there without the X. So maybe I should be playing Con here. I guess I probably should be prioritizing trying to bingo sooner as opposed to maybe digging for the blank and taking out this spot. I maybe got too hung up on the fact that there's an R here and I want to get rid of my R to try to hit that because he's also going to be going there a decent amount of the time. So yeah, this is close. I mean, I'm not sure this is a mistake, but I guess I'd need to see the actual numbers and like how much more often really does INRS bingo than NS. If it's a lot, like if it's more than 10% more, then yeah, probably Con is better. But if it's reasonably close, then I think Orson is better just to score a couple more points and block this spot and dig a little deeper for the S's or the additional S's in the blank. So yeah, QI pretty clearly best here just to get rid of the Q. And yeah, no, I don't want to get rid of both of my S's. The S is definitely a valuable tile for bingoing with with diffs, so I obviously wasn't thrilled to keep the J, but my next best option that keeps it is Jest. And I mean, BGNS is just a little too constant heavy. I also knew, like I said in the game, as long as I can draw like an A or an O or any of my other vowels, I'll have a decent ballot play with, let's say, jab or job or jib and boozes next turn, which will be like 37 and keep a great leave. So I'm unlikely to be saddled with this J for long, given there's plenty of vowels for me to draw. And even if I somehow don't draw a vowel next turn, I should be able to do something and get rid of it, maybe through this E or to one of these T's if need be, depending on what he plays. But I think I'm likely enough to be able to handle the J next turn. That keeping the E is also nice because there aren't a ton of E's left. So I think just in terms of either way, it's going to be tough for me to bingo next turn. In terms of thinking like 2 turns ahead and going forward, what gives me the best chance to bingo? I think it is probably Gist as opposed to Jest. He plays 12. That's a great play. I mean, to score that much with WUV on your rack is always a great thing. Yeah, Job has to be right here. I mean, 37 keeps ENRS. He bingos, and now Pep. I didn't see Perpent here. That's not bad, but I don't know. That's a lot of A's and a lot of O's and a lot of U's. I don't want to actually just be keeping an S here. There's nothing, like, good to draw. I mean, right, I'm also getting rid of both of my E's, which are very valuable with just one left. There's no blank. There's like, not much. E and RS are, like, amazing with this pool, right? There's no N's, there's no R's, there's barely any E's. There's T's and A's and O's to draw. Like, E and RS is the perfect leave with that pool. I don't want to blow this up for 9. 9 points doesn't help me. I mean, you're going to need to bingo anyway. Like, the 9 points is literally meaningless here. So, Pep is definitely a better play than Perpent. PE, no. I mean, this is counterproductive. It just sort of closes down my lines. It is nice, in case he does play, like, Koff here, as he did later in the game, to have an extra lane, because like I said, I'm going to assume I need to bingo, and it's not easy to bingo from an L. So yeah, Pep looks good. Rough rack for him. I would have likely done the same, just because, I mean, you got to assume after Pep, I'm pretty likely to have one of the S's, and this at least, it's a lot harder to end in a D, especially that pool. There's actually not that much that really does end in a D, so it's much easier for me to end in an S than end an 8 in a D. So totally the right play by him here to play Wud. Awa, I mean, basically forced. I still 100% need to bingo to win this game, and now at least I know if he somehow does block this this diff line, I do have this D as well as this L, and I'll still have a chance to try to fish for something. Allowed. I'm not sure I agree with this play, because it does give back a nice line for 7s. He doesn't, I guess, does he not really have a great way of dealing with diffs, because he has too many vowels? I guess he doesn't. I mean, you can't just play, like, AAS, because then that gives back another 7 line here. Yeah, maybe he doesn't have that good a way of alias? How about alias? That also just leaves 1 in the bag, which is kind of nice. So it makes it harder for me to fish. Alias puts you up 47. I mean, it's hard to imagine losing being up 47 without me bingoing. Even if I play, like, faked, I'm still going to be down 10. I mean, it's probably conceivable if you draw, like, OOY or something. It's probably conceivable that you lose without a bingo here. If I can get faked or maybe franked and then get a big out, it's conceivable. It's unlikely. So it's a consideration, alias. Allowed definitely, with that flexible leave, makes it that if I don't bingo, I'm not winning. That's the nice thing about allowed. I mean, fakey here would actually score a lot, but I have to imagine still with the S you'll be able to score enough and win. I don't know, fakey's like over 50 though. So, could still get a little dicey. But things like Tau are also there. Maybe you're better off just doing Tau and leaving everything alone. That's also not a bad option. And the nice thing, well, I guess the nice thing about Tau is if I try to score with faked, then I'm emptying the bag and I'm going to still have like 6 or 7 tiles. So I shouldn't be able to play out. And then it should be an easy endgame win with an out and 2. Of course, the problem with Tau is the more you leave in the bag, the more flexibility and chances I'm going to have to fish. So there's trade-offs with everything here. I just feel like after Alias, if you go up 47, it's very unlikely you're going to lose without me bingoing. Again, it's conceivable, but I'm going to need to have a big play to the D and get a very lucky draw. So I would go with Alias here, just to reduce my bingo percentage as much as possible, since you're also probably rarely winning when I do bingo. I mean, even after allowed, because you'll be up 50, my bingo will probably score 70 and I'll be going out. It's conceivable you could still win if I bingo, but it's unlikely. So I think you're in a position where it's like, you're probably winning if I don't bingo, and you're probably losing if I bingo. That's probably what the game is going to come down to. So given that, I would just play Alias, I think, and, take the remote chance that I can somehow score well, you draw garbage, and you can't win in the endgame. I think that's exceedingly unlikely. And just reduce my bingo percentage to the absolute bare minimum, since it's not that easy for me to bingo to this D or from an L. And with one in the bag, any fish I make, I will have to hit in 2 spots because you'll have full knowledge of my rack. So I kind of think Alias is the play, but it's a tough position, and I could be convinced otherwise. So if anyone has other thoughts, then feel free to chime in. But I'm not a big fan of allowed. Yeah, obviously I can't do this. I mean, I'm still going to be down 19. I'm never, ever winning in this endgame. Even if I draw, like, KS, which is probably ideal. I mean, he can still play Oaf. Yeah, no, there's no way I'm ever winning an endgame. So I've got to fish, and this does reasonably well, like I said. I mean, an A hits Santora, which very well could be blocked, but it might also be left open if he wants to block this lane. And an O hits in both spots, the Toners and Treason. I hits in both spots with Retains or Styrian. S will only hit here with Sarsenet. K will hit both spots with Rankist and Tankers. F will not hit, unfortunately. E will just hit here with Nearest or Earnest. But yeah, I've got a very good chance. If I draw anything but the F, I'll have a bingo in at least one spot. And if I draw several other tiles, I'll have bingo in both spots and certainly win. And I'll have a bingo in one spot and still be able to win if he chooses the wrong lane, which, especially being a bot, is fairly likely. But even against a human, from their perspective, with one in the bag and such good bingo tiles, it may be best for them to block a lane that happens to be the one you can't hit. So I think Yo is pretty clearly correct here, and luckily for me, yeah, so I'm curious, what should he do here from his perspective? So with an A in the bag, he's just toast, because, I mean, unless he can block, right? Can he go here and block both lanes? Like Sifaka, unfortunately, doesn't fit. Are there any 5s ending in an A? You don't want to use that S, or else I can just bingo to it pretty easily. Maybe not. Yeah, there probably aren't without... There might not even be one with the S. I'm not actually seeing it. Yeah, okay, so maybe he just has to kind of choose one lane and hope for the best. Yeah, if you could play something like here, a 5, that doesn't use the S, that would probably be best. But I don't think it's possible. So yeah, if he has to block one lane, so A, he's just toast. E, he's fine, because I can't bingo. N is Aerosat, so Aerosat hits here. O is Santora, that only hits here. R is nothing. S is nothing. T is nothing. So he should block here. This was a mistake by him, because basically if he blocks here, then... how about Fakey? Wait, does Fakey beat a Toners here? Hold on, this is close. Oh, I have Treason here, though. Yeah, I have Treason. So 31, 37, yeah. Okay, yeah, he'd be up 68. Even the Toners here should win, right? Yeah, okay, so no, and Treason certainly does. So Fakey doesn't work all the time. But yeah, this, as we saw, loses to Treason. It would also have lost to Santora or Aerosat. Aerosat also would actually play here now as well. So this loses half the time with 4 of 8 draws. It loses when you draw an A, an N, or an O. Whereas if you just play something here, even something, I would just play Fay, F-A-Y, because you're not going to lose in the endgame with me having only 1 pointers. There's nothing, yeah, there's nothing in the pool I could have from this L, I believe. And then you're basically saying, okay, if I draw an A, I lose to a toners, otherwise I win. So yeah, Faye looks like the play here. Wins 6 out of 8 times. As it turns out, with an A in the bag, he was dead meat. And yeah, Treason to go out and win. Another tight and clutch win for us, 448 to 436. Overall, I'm happy with that game. Definitely no glaring mistakes. Some interesting decisions like Orson versus Khan, Gist versus getting rid of the J. But I'm good with everything I did. Yeah, nothing too controversial. I don't think Nixie actually was maybe the most controversial play, come to think of it. Nixie versus Index. That one I feel like a lot of folks would disagree with, and it's certainly maybe a mistake. I'm not entirely sure. It's up for debate, as everything always is in this wonderful game we play. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, feel free to leave any thoughts or suggestions in the comment section, and I will look forward to seeing you guys all soon for game number 33. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.